All right,
Yo,
what's up?
yo.
What's up? What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another live of the FML podcast. What's good, everybody? Before we get started, you already know we're gonna do the mental check, man, in the comment section. If you already on with us, let us know like what you thinking and everything. Hold on. You already on with us? I gotta mute that. My daughter been messing with my laptop a little bit. I forgot to take the mute
Got the
off.
baby talk on, man.
You know what I'm saying? But yo, in the comment section, man, put down how y'all been doing. Any positive or good news, put it down in the comment section, man. We love to hear about that stuff, man. But we got a couple of topics we're gonna hit y'all with today, man. We really excited about them. I know we got our man Anthony Giovanni. He gonna be getting ready to load up a clip
Yo,
for us. So while he getting that ready, we got my boy Keith back again, our honorary fourth member. What's up, Keith? How you doing today?
Bro.
Doing good?
I'm doing well, man. Just got in the house from work, and I'm just ready, talk about some things.
All right, yeah, we're gonna definitely get into a big trade. What you up to, man? How you feeling?
I'm feeling good. Just getting in from work too. It's been a crazy productive week. And Keith, all I see is your nose on up.
y'all see his
Damn,
forehead.
god damn, bro. Down or aim up? I don't even know.
That man
Working on
funny.
that too.
I think you good now. Yeah, he good. All right.
Get
So
into
yeah,
it.
so G getting the clips up and everything, man. But here in Richmond, man, we've been having a lot of crazy weather. It's been wild because I know yesterday when I was driving, because what I do, man, I go meet clients at different locations and stuff like that. It's crazy to me how like one spot could be downpouring and then another
Hmm.
spot is just completely dry. So like in Richmond, it felt like it yesterday, like our Chesterfield area, and I think like Willow Lawn over on that side, it had a lot of rain and all of that stuff. But then in the Henrico area, it was dry, and then it's like it flip flopped today. So I always thought that's interesting, and sometimes I be feeling like maybe this is a topic for the future. But I wonder, do they be manipulating the weather? You know what I'm
Absolutely.
saying? Like they be playing around with the weather a little bit and all that stuff. Y'all think they be? You think they know how to play with the weather and all that?
Yeah, absolutely. They already is.
Uh,
They already is. They already testing stuff out, playing with stuff. And I mean, you're not gonna be able to perfect it because man can't control nature. I don't know why people haven't grasped that reality just yet, but they playing around with it.
yeah.
Trying to find ways to block out the sun, and they just experimented with these Canadian fires with all the dust in the sky. They trying to block out the
Mm,
sun, so they know what to put in the atmosphere to
Yep.
a weather machine, but they know how to, you know.
Hmm.
they definitely
And
do, man. And we still feeling the effects. Them fires happened what, like a month ago? It's still messing with the air quality from Canada. At least down here to Richmond, Virginia, it's still messing with our air quality even now. Like that's crazy to me.
mhm.
There
And
we
then
go.
it's
It ain't bother me much. It ain't bother me much, like for real. For real. I just can't see. I can't see outside. When I go outside.
I think I felt the effects of it. It felt like the air was thicker. Pause.
what's pause about that? No, we're
That's
not
No,
crazy.
starting that. We're not
Just in case,
starting
That's
that.
crazy.
you
That was
specific. You
y'all
wild.
want that
specifically
type of
said
time,
the
I'm
air.
That's
ready.
crazy, man.
Hey,
That
you
is
Just in
specifically.
Crazy,
case.
man.
I threw it
Clay.
out there just in case.
That's crazy,
If
bro.
Clay.
y'all trying to
You
take
gotta
it,
chill,
I'm
bro.
ready. That's all I'm
You
saying.
talking about something, man. You
You was
talking about
Not a
things are
it's not a
thicker.
pause
It's
moment.
crazy.
I don't care about
That's
pause today.
crazy. That's you.
the subject
You
matter
solo
pause.
person.
We're gonna keep on talking.
That is nasty.
Yeah, all right, y'all. So look, we got the video up, man. All right, G, go ahead and roll it. Let's take a look, see what we got.
Let's see.
of women filming men subtly looking at them in gyms. It's absolutely insane. If I was a man, I would just go to an all-male gym. If a man checks me out in the gym, I'm just gonna smile back. Or if I don't like him, I'm just gonna move away. I'm not gonna whip out my iPhone and then blast him on social media. It's like Me Too gone mad, gone crazy. But it's funny because I'm actually seeing the repercussions of this. I saw another video go viral of a girl doing a squat with the rack and she's stuck in that position and she can't get back up. And nobody is helping her. Man isn't going to risk everybody laughing at him and calling him a creep by actually going over to help her. Well, these are now the repercussions, because when a woman actually does need help, men won't help because they're terrified of being blasted on social media for sexual harassment. And if I was a man, I wouldn't do it either. I'd stay away from these women. They're crazy.
Bro, like Carolyn, like not my business.
All right,
That was
look, all
funny.
right. Yo, who want to tackle this first? Who going first, yo? What's your thoughts on the video, man?
Basically, the question is, with this movement of, I guess, feminist slash strong independent women, and then goes over to women that think that all men are, I guess, I wouldn't say pedophiles, but I guess what's the word I'm thinking of, Trey? Men are
Creeping.
all creepers or whatever they are. Do you think it's hurting them or helping them with these gym situations?
With the gym situation, I have seen guys who've been creeping, bro. I have seen guys who've been creeping. I mean, but at the same time, this is what I've been talking to a lot of guys about is this goes into the dick discipline. And we're gonna focus on the men, we're gonna focus on the men. The men can have more control. I mean, yeah, ass is there. It might be a nice body or they're working out or whatever. But you can look and not stare. You can not follow. Like it gets creepy when you start following and stuff like that. But a lot of women are
What
on that wave
what do you
where it's
mean?
like
What do you mean as far as creeping? What does that mean?
creeping. It's a thin line because a lot of guys are like trying to think of what to say to approach the girl, right? We're trying to think of what to say to approach the woman. They're trying to wait for the right moment and all that stuff. And the whole time you're doing this, you're anticipating this. The woman knows, you know what I mean? Like, see, her peripheral is up, even with the headphones on. She could sense, like, you could feel when somebody's looking at you. And if she didn't look and saw you looking at her, it's been 20 minutes now. Now it's like, okay, this is creepy because I don't know what your intentions are. I don't know what's going to happen. If I go outside, you can follow me, and a lot of the men, the men's men, wow, the men's mindset is that I'm gonna just catch her when she by herself and go ahead and talk to her type thing. Like he ain't really most of the time. I can't speak for all guys, but most of the time, guys are not thinking on that wave. They just procrastinating and missing the opportunity. If you want to talk to her, just talk to her. But it does get creepy because the ones who like quiet, creeping, looking in the corner, it's like they're plotting out a move. You don't know what they're plotting. You don't know what the move is, and it makes the woman feel uncomfortable.
What you got, Keith? What you got?
Own experience for real.
Come on with it.
Extra far as these women taking out their camera to go away from what they're concentrating on and their exercise to film men looking at them. Half the time,
Hmm.
these women in these trend videos, they go in the gym looking for attention. Like,
Hmm.
would you be pulling out a camera trying to catch a man looking at you? Because that's what we gonna do. Like, I look at women in the gym. I'm not over in the corner like behind the bench press set, like looking through the peephole, and then like, but I don't know. Like, say I'm at a weight machine and you in front of the mirror and you doing squats and shit. What am I supposed to do? Like Stevie Wonder, act like I don't see you and shit like
Hmm.
that. Like I don't know, man. I appreciate the women coming in the gym, wearing stuff that accents their features, their curves and whatnot, because it's like motivation to me. Like I was like, all right, let me get on my shit. Let me do 10 more reps on this weight that I ain't never did before, but she inspired me, so I'm gonna try it. Like, so I think there's nothing wrong with it. Like that's what we're attracted to. We gonna look like, and they gonna look too. I ain't saying it's fair. Like, I don't know what how long look defines creeping, but
Hmm.
half the time they wearing them Lululemons that's tight as hell. They wearing mid something that shows their midriff or whatnot, and they got their boobs out and shit. So I don't know. It's hard not to look. I ain't saying stare, but I don't see nothing wrong with looking. That's just my perspective.
Mm. Yo,
I
G,
don't
what
see
what
nothing
you
wrong
got?
with
G, what you
looking
got?
either.
You said me?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Oh shoot! I mean, this is my field, so I've worked in the gym. I've been in the gym a long time, long time. I've seen the progression over the years, and the gym ain't nothing but a strip club. To be honest, I've been to every gym, and I think we've just came to we forgot animalistic case characteristic with each other. Women want
Mm.
attention. Men like looking at attention. I think we we relinquished a lot of accountability on women when it comes to men looking at women in the gym. I mean, it's in our DNA to look at women. It's our DNA to look at how they look, their hair, they breasts, their ass, everything. It's in our DNA. So I can't always fault men for doing what they do because that's just how it is. You can have a man that's deadly in love with their wife at home, but they still gonna look. What's the phrase? I can look but not touch.
Don't touch. Uh-huh.
So it's just the way the clothing has been changed as far as going with gym. There's no accountability to it. I mean, everybody has seen. I mean, everybody's wearing two tops. I mean, half the titties is out when they go work out. They done got them. What's them pants y'all be seeing them scrunchy pants that it look like it's a thong, but it has the y'all know what I'm
Oh,
talking about. I don't know what they called, but
with
it's like you
ass
see the
that be jiggling.
whole line to it. Yeah. So
Uh,
and then how can you blame a man that has full of testosterone is getting bigger? Of course it's pause. It's like it's your testosterone is growing, and especially you working out and you seeing stuff.
Continue.
But then we're the weird ones because it's sitting right there. It's like it's right there. What do you? I mean, the only way he cannot see is even if you walking in the gym, it's everywhere. What I'm supposed to do? Like just close my eyes? Like I can't see. Oh, I can't. It's everywhere. And then as soon as you ask for attention or you know what you're wearing, as soon as you see something, oh, it's always the man's fault. Oh, why he looking? Why not look? What do you? I mean, how could I not look? It don't make no sense. And I think it's contradicting that I can't look now, I can't look at you now, but you'll post the same picture and then we're gonna look at it on Instagram the same way we're looking at it right now. What's the difference? There is no difference.
the
He's
The
gonna look
timing.
difference
at
is in person.
the
Yeah,
man. The man is just gonna look and see right there. So I think there's no accountability no more. I think it goes in the realm where you wrong if you don't do it. You wrong if you do. You wrong. It ain't gonna make no difference. It's gonna be the men's fault at the end of the day, regardless of what they wear.
The difference is in person, and me. Two can play that game. So great joggers, no draws in that booth.
Yeah,
The
nobody's
what's
difference
gonna pay
that?
can't
attention.
be
Yeah, nobody's
the
gonna
diff-
pay attention to that.
Oh,
It's not the
what
same.
Trey just say?
I don't know. I missed it, but it sounded like he was preaching. But
You know what I'm saying? Because I've gotten looks and stuff too, and like you said, everybody got eyes, man. So I don't fault for nobody for looking. You know what I mean? Like I don't fault nobody for looking. If I can enhance the creepy, it's not so much the looking, it's the motive. Like what's your intention? Like you getting closer and closer. You know what I'm saying? It's like you're not even working out no more. You just over there like getting the show type thing. The only thing I would say is try to stay focused on the main reason why you came there, and that's working out. Um, I've never, and I've had a situation where it's like started in a sports bra and them little shorts, and she had like a stomach tattoo, and she was doing ab work. And I was looking at the tattoo and didn't even realize I winded up looking over top of her. She took her headphones off. I was like, oh. And I was like, oh, I was reading the tattoo. I thought it said Thug Life. I thought you was Tupac Jr., you know what I mean? I ain't know, you know what I'm saying? But I wasn't on I wasn't on that wave, you know what I mean? And it never was no disrespect, and she didn't take it as disrespect. So I don't know. I think the creep part is just a feeling. It's more of an intuition type thing, which men and women have. It's a internal, like what's your internal intention? But going to the clothing, you do know what you're doing. And same thing, Keys, it's motivation. You know what I mean? You know what you're doing. You know what time you came. You know what I mean? You know, if you saw the crowd meter on the app, you know that John said is packed in here and you had to come when it was packed, you looking for attention. A lot of Jones don't even do a full workout. You done did six
Hey,
reps and two
it's a,
sets.
hey, it's a squat rack and then pitches. That's all it is.
Hey, look,
You know
but
what I
I got
mean?
a question for y'all. So what I hear is women say like that stuff is more comfortable, right? That's why they wear it.
Mm-hmm.
I was against it until I just noticed. I went to Ross the other day and I thought about buying some shorts. Like y'all know, like I only do
Yeah.
basketball shorts and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? I don't
You
really
got the
wear jeans
compression
shorts.
shorts.
Bro, the guy shorts is just as short as the girl shorts. So
Yeah.
it's like, yo, like hold on, like
Who can play
when
that
guys out
game?
here squatting
Hey,
nowadays too, you like what the world? You know what I'm saying?
Who
So
can
it's
play
like
that game?
if I went to
go ahead.
no, I said if I went to the gym in my drawers, I'd be comfortable too.
But
And that's what gets you
they're
though.
not in drawers though. They're in shorts.
That
No,
that's
you
what
just talk
that's
about
what
being
gets you.
comfortable. You just talk about comfortability. I mean,
That's what it's starting to get like, bro. You seen some of these guys out, like we seen them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Like, bro, they in the same what you call it, Lululemon or whatever. They
Lululemon.
look like they got men Lululemon or something. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah.
Like
leaving nothing to the
it's getting crazy.
imagination. I
And
guess.
look, and
Yeah.
like
Right,
Trey said, they out here showing off and everything too. The women
right.
still, you know what I'm saying? I think for me, I think like Trey said, I think it's about intention and speaking to the fellas. Um, especially you see a woman that look good or whatever. I think when you start just keep staring, that's
Mm-hmm.
when it kind of make like just imagine somebody just staring at you, but they not saying nothing. You know what I'm saying? That might could feel a little uncomfortable. But if you go over
Mhm.
there and then you talk to them, you know what I'm saying? Like you catch them in between they rep. This kind of go into the trying to holler at a woman or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like I told Trey about this too. Like to me, you got like a 5-second count of like
Mm.
looking at a woman, and then you got to decide either you approach them or you don't, because now you lingering. You know
But
what I'm
but
saying?
but while she's working out, is it appropriate at all to approach her? Like,
I
how
would
we
catch
know
them
if
in
they not
between
gonna?
the set. Catch them in between they set. You know what I'm saying? On they break. I just matter of fact, it was the something came up on my YouTube. Um, it's this guy, and he was talking about like the places to approach women at, and he said at the gym, and he said the best way to approach them is in between they sets, they resting period, or like on their way out. Now, if it's late at night, that on the way out might be a little tricky, you
Risky.
know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you catch them in between. Trey been with me like me, like Trey seemed like like I don't wait, and I go so like what's going on? Like I like that extra. Like you, and most of the time I think it depends on the energy you come with as well. It's been
Definitely.
well received for me. You know what I'm saying? I haven't
Mhm.
had the issues, but also to speak to the women's side, some women out here just insecure. You know what I'm saying? Some women been through some things and they got these traumas and they think everybody after them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So I think what we kind of dealing with is one hand some women or people have insecurities, and just because somebody looking at it triggers like, oh, they want something, they want something out of me, or they're trying to be a creep or something like that. But then you got the other side of the equation where guys just looking, and they probably more than likely want to talk to the woman, but they're not making their mind up and making a decision to go talk to them. So now you just keep making eye, like she might look at you and you break eye contact and like you ain't, you know what I'm saying? Like she look at you and you just wave at her or something. You know what I'm saying? Like let her know like, yo, what's up? Like, yo, like, or a thumbs up, like, yo, keep up the good work. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right. Right.
something to acknowledge it. When you just looking and then they look at you and you turn it away, or you just staring at them, that look creepy. You know what I'm saying? But I don't
I'm
think
like,
with some of the, like, I've seen like a couple of these videos. I didn't see guys doing that. I just seen them like, oh, she look good, and they look at them in the mirror, and then they get back to their workout, and they like, oh, look at this creep and stuff like that. Like, no, they OD. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, y'all guys,
Right.
that's some issues that y'all got going on, unless it's something we ain't seeing. But otherwise, you know what I'm saying? To my fellas out there, man, you see somebody up in the gym you like or whatever, even if you got a situation, yo, you can compliment them like, yo, man, like, you doing a good job with doing workouts or whatever. You know what I'm saying? Just let them know, like, you ain't on no creep type stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like, encourage them along or something. Or like, yo, how you do that workout? Like, kind of break that barrier, because a lot of times guys is afraid to talk to somebody, and that's what make it even creepier. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I will say that they're afraid of talking because of all of what they're able to see now. Because you approach a woman now, you may get filmed on camera. So it's more into the calculation. And this whole movement behind it, I don't ride trends anyway. Like the whole movement behind it is some bullshit. If you was to pull out your phone and catch me on camera, I'm coming leaning on your shoulder. What's up, shawty? You know what I mean?
play into
I'm,
it, yeah.
yeah, I'm in it. You know what I mean? Like, I ain't no, you can't, it ain't really too much of that energy will show off that. Because for one, I talk to men and women at the gym. And most people that see you, if you're consistent at the gym, then consistency builds trust. So if you're consistent at the gym, even if you are peeping a little something, people will be like, "Oh, that ain't nobody but so and so. He always here." Da da da. You know what I'm
He talk,
saying?
he talk to everybody. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Uh,
yeah. You know what I'm saying? The threat level will go down. I don't like that. It's a threat, but that threat level will go down. You know what I mean? When it comes to the movement, though, the trend, that's some bullshit. A lot of people just keep on jumping on different waves, and I'm tell some of you shoulders, you're blocking your blessings. You're blocking your
facts.
blessings. You know what I mean? Some of the best. If y'all both in the same area doing the same thing, y'all on the same grind, y'all already got a similarity of some of the,
exactly.
you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
Interest, interest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you had a similar interest, a
Mhm.
similar concept, a framework of mind, and it's something that can be built from that, especially in the gym. You know what I mean?
And like Trey said, like, y'all both in the gym, that show a certain level of like self improvement that you try to
Hmm.
make for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, those most of the time the people you will want to connect with. People that normally take care of their body. You know what I'm saying? I
Yeah.
don't got no stats or nothing, but they seem to be more driven, more
Yep.
ambitious. You know what I'm saying? Want more out of life and stuff like that.
Mentally
So those
healthy.
are the people you probably do want to network with, even if you ain't really feeling them on that type of level.
Yeah.
Like the lady said, I think the lady gave some good tips for women and for men, because the women be staring at the men too. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, if you
Right.
ain't trying to show no interest, just stay focused on your workout. And that's one of the things. And guys, cause it's kind of going into like picking up and talking to women.
Hmm.
Like, we go to the steps and everything pretty often and work out. Shout out to the G-Way steps. One of the things I learned
Appreciate
is to read body language and read energies. Like, I can tell who want to talk when I look at them and who don't want to talk. If they ain't making eye contact with you, they probably don't want to talk to you. You know what I'm saying? If you walk right behind them, they probably don't want to talk to you. But if they make eye contact, they give a little wave, like, hey, how you doing? And just keep it moving at that time. And then when you come back across them, then you get, like, yo, like, how often you come out here or whatever. Oh, what kind of workout you doing? Stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, like, we gotta, don't let these women scare you out of talking to them. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo,
Mm.
you might end up on camera. I can't say you won't. I'm not saying that, but just because these women out here, some women is out here doing it. I done met a lot of women at the gym that was cool as hell. They ain't had no problems or nothing. That's just a
Mhm.
select few women that's going around that's doing that. As long as you got the proper gym etiquette, don't go up to nobody while they in the middle of their set. Don't do that. You know what I'm saying? If somebody in the middle of their
Mhm.
squat, somebody in the middle of their whatever workout, don't interrupt them. That's bad gym etiquette. Wait till they get their break time, their rest time, and then that's when you talk to them and ask them about workout stuff or whatever. But you get your gym etiquette up. Like, don't worry about that little stuff, man. That's just the few. If you approaching correctly, all right. Yo, who else? I know we
Hey,
coming up on that time, but go ahead. Who else got some stuff to say for
hey, Paul sound like Hitch out this motherfucker, like with the game. You know what I'm saying?
Now, I don't want the guys to be scared of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, and I know because I was in those situations where you see somebody pretty up in the gym or whatever, and you just get caught staring. You know what I'm saying? Because you ain't made your mind up to like go. Either I'm gonna talk to her or I'm not gonna talk to her. Which one am I gonna do? Make up your mind. You're gonna go talk to her. Then you can kind of start figuring out your plan on how you're gonna approach them or whatever. But you don't want to get caught just staring at somebody, man. Cause I know for me, I don't like when people just be staring at me, or like I look over and feel like somebody's staring at me. You know what I'm saying? Like, like
That's creepy.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? We just gotta go approach them. You know what I'm saying? And don't worry about with that woman or those type of women, because that's just insecurity. You know what I'm saying? They probably been through something or had some situation, and now they think anybody that look at them feel that way, and that's normally not the case. They just admiring your beauty, and it's we want to
Should be
appreciate that,
appreciated.
but it's a way to go about it too that don't make people feel uncomfortable.
This is why discipline and knowing yourself is so important. That's true. Also, going back to the nonverbal communication, right? You kill them with a smile. If they do turn and see you looking, you don't have to turn away. I'm not telling you to stare, but make gentle eye contact. The eyes tell it all. The eyes are the gateway to the soul. So they can tell your intention when they look in your eyes. Uh, so don't turn. You know what I'm saying? If you really you can compliment them with how you looking at them. You know what I'm saying? Or you can scare them away. So you can do. There's plenty of things that you can do. But as far as the women who are looking for attention, and then when you get it, don't act surprised when you get the type of attention that you're looking for. If you want some hoe shit, you a hoe.
Man,
You
you
know what I'm
can't be
saying?
hoes, but that's all good.
Break it down real simple, huh?
You know what I'm saying? So you a hoe. And men can be hoes. This is a fact. And also, I've had that unwanted attention as well before. Um, and I learned not to wear certain things. It attracts certain attention. You know what I mean? So yes, no, don't do the gray joggers. I mean, because at this
Don't
point,
wear gray. Don't wear
no,
gray.
or the do the track pants, because man, no, because
Still be the track pants, man.
I got stories. It's like, yeah, no, you can't do no push-ups that day. Your ass in the air. So, like, being a recipient of unwanted attention, I can understand a woman who uh, is getting unwanted attention. Maybe she didn't know she looked that good. You know, to be honest, what's attractive to somebody is unattractive to somebody else. So, I mean, it could just be your normal thing. You could be in a couple, you could be in a relationship and it's like normal. You could have the assets that it don't matter what you wear, it's gonna be showing off. You know, I've seen the loosest of sweatpants and it's like, oh, that joint's still moving. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah, you ain't lying. Yeah, that'd be the craziest ones. For real, for real. Those the ones that really get your attention. But they got baggy sweatpants and you still see the jiggle. Or like they got a big shirt and you still see the jiggle. What? Yo,
yeah.
man.
So I can't just put it all on the clothing because that goes into the sexual assault victims too. It's like, yo, like our solution is, well, cover up. Well, don't wear this. And it's like, all right, well, even if they're not wearing it, it still can happen, you know. So that's why I preach precaution, yeah, but still being within yourself, knowing yourself, you're not gonna. It's more so your energy of what's attracting. Because I've seen people, I've seen women in the same type of clothing, but they're literally there to get their workout in. You know what I mean? They're literally there to get their workout in. And it's like you know what type of time they on. They're not to be distracted. They're not to be approached. They get their workout in and they go. They don't pull out their phone unless they're changing a song or following a workout routine or something. Um, but then you got the ones who are lingering themselves, not completing sets and doing all of this. Everything they're doing is to bend over and types, like you're looking for attention. Don't be surprised when you get it.
Yeah, yeah. They don't leave the house without knowing though, Trey. Like they don't leave the house unless like, yep, I look good. Like so, let's get it.
Uh,
They
some
don't.
of
Women don't leave. I don't think few women leave the house without knowing. Like, yep, I'm that bitch today. Am I right, Paul? Or am I right?
No, they know. That's why they. But I be wondering. And Trey, though, I just talked about this. I was like, yo, like women got like a different outfit for every day of working out. You know what I'm saying? They'll plan it out. So they know what they know they know what they doing. You know what I'm saying? They already know. But I think to them sometimes how they feel, and this is the biggest one of the biggest part about working out. It's about how you feel about yourself. So a lot of people go by that motto: look good, feel good, work out good. You know what I'm saying? Like, so the better they look, they feel like the better the workout they're gonna get. So that could be that's part of it, I think too. But they know they know how they looking good and stuff out here. And I don't compliment the person. I might compliment some. I might be like, yo, that's a nice outfit right there, yo. Like
that
that color
part. You got to
coordination is
learn
nice.
with the compliment.
Yeah, you know what I'm
Learn
saying?
with the
That
compliment.
color, yo, that's nice, yo. I like that outfit. You know what I'm saying?
You know what I'm
They
saying?
already know
You
the
can
deal, but
compliment.
yeah, you gotta. They like it too. They bought it. They gotta
Right.
agree with you.
A proper compliment is a compliment on something that they control.
Mhm.
You know what I mean? So a compliment on their body is not so much a compliment because everybody could do the same workouts, eat the same, and their results would be different. Your body is different. You know what I mean? You can compliment progression, but that only works if that person knows you've been there along the journey. You know what I'm saying? So you could compliment progression. That could be a compliment, but compliment like abs and all of that stuff most of the time is it's an improper compliment. Because I feel like we know how to do it. Because I compliment the guys too. Like, bro, you got the guns. You know what I mean? Like, I could compliment, I could compliment pretty much whatever, but I don't have no intention. So most people can't do that. Most
Yeah,
people can't do that. But
and I know you. Oh, go ahead, Trey.
I definitely had the stalker ass. You remember the joint with the wig and the red lipstick? That joint. I would like wait till she moved before I go to the next. You know what I'm saying? Before I go to the next section, type like we did. It's some that's like yeah, like
Following
women
them
creep
around the
too.
gym. You
Women
talking
be
about the one
creeping
that was on the
too.
bikes and stuff all the time when we was in the front?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Women be creeping too, bro.
Yes, sir, yo. And we about to get ready to wrap up on this topic. We got G. He gonna get ready to load up the next video and
Right.
everything for us. But
Hey,
before
G, you
we
ain't gonna be quiet all night either, bro.
before we get to the next subject and everything, yo, anybody final thoughts about this topic that we just talked about?
You build your confidence up, man. When you build your confidence, then a lot of this outward stuff doesn't affect you. You're able to talk and approach people. You're able to talk and approach people, and you're able to be approached. You can take things as a compliment, which would seem creepy. Thank you for looking at me. Like the lady said, like you can kill them with a smile. Kill them with a smile all the time, man. I do it all the time. Like you can just get somebody creeping, I can give them a smile, I can give them the dap or the pound or something, and just keep it moving. And small interactions like that usually de-escalate a situation before it even starts. So take the power away from the situation. You know what I mean? If you're really feeling like if somebody creeping, then you should know your gym well enough to where you can tell somebody or have somebody look out for you, or just leave. Like, just leave. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're that uncomfortable, it's plenty of other gyms, and I don't want that to be like, oh, everybody's running me out of the gym type situation. But if you're really that uncomfortable, then take yourself away from the situation, man.
Very
I would
true.
say
Very true.
I would say while we wrapping this up, and G, you loading up the next video, right?
Yeah, I just want to give shout out to everybody on Rumble, man. We're officially on Rumble.
Oh yeah, shout out
We're
to
Mhm.
gonna
Rumble.
we're gonna
What's
start
up,
we're
Rumble?
gonna start give us
Go
some
ahead, Randy.
love, man. If you don't have a Rumble, go ahead and make one and make sure y'all follow us on there. They don't do subscribers, so you gotta follow us on there. It's the same thing. FML Podcast on Rumble, man. We're gonna start uploading more on there because we have a little bit more freedom on Rumble. So if we go too far one day, just know that we went to Rumble. We probably got canceled on YouTube. Rumble is what they call they say they ain't no beta nothing on there. You can say what you want on Rumble, so it's a little bit different. So we can talk we want to on there. So make sure y'all go follow us on there. We appreciate everybody looking and follow us on YouTube too. But go ahead and subscribe on both of them, man.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I would say that for my final point with this topic, I would say and I know the point was, is the recording stuff, is that hindering or hurting women in the gym in particular?
Mm,
And I would say I don't from my experience, no. But also, it could have an impact. I don't think it should, because just because somebody turned you down, that don't mean you should just stop doing it for everybody. You know what I'm saying? Like that's just how I operate. Just because I had a bad experience with one woman in the gym, that's not gonna stop me from helping or talking to somebody else in the gym. So to kind of go back to that point, I don't think it is, and I don't think it should. But I do think women should be more open and more understanding to, like, yo, like, some guys just can't approach, and some guys just want to admire you from afar. And I know it might be a little creepy or whatever, but if you feel unsafe or unsure, like Trey said, you could remove yourself from the situation. You could tell somebody whatever. You don't got to run to social media, because if you do that, you are
mhm.
looking for attention. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? And I think from what I've seen in a lot of from those type of videos, the people going in on the woman recording the guy. You know what I'm saying? They like, yo, you should be here focusing on your workout. Why you focusing on him? He won't even staring at you like that. So
Yeah.
I don't think it's having an effect, and I don't think it should have an effect on like that situation where the lady was stuck. I would have thought she was just doing a workout. If she ain't say help or nothing, I'm not going. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm like, oh, that's a new workout. You know what I'm saying? Unless she was saying help, I would have let it go too. You know what I'm saying? So these situations is different, but I don't think it should, and I don't see from my experience. But I'm not in the gym a lot either. I'm more outside with my workouts. I don't see that
Mhm,
becoming a big thing as of right now.
No,
mhm.
I agree with you, Paul. This film, the women filming dudes looking at them, it's some little shit, and then like you said, it's probably between. But I do believe public gyms should be a safe space for
Oh,
women
hey
and for
Keith,
all the.
hey Keith, it sounds like your mic went out a little bit or something.
Why are you muffled?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We can't hear you at all now. Nah, still can't.
Yeah.
Yeah, go on next.
Man.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah, go ahead, try to work on that, Keith. We about to get
Yeah. Let's go
the
in.
next video and everything up. You can still hear though, right?
Yeah, we're
Yeah,
gonna
okay.
we're gonna
All right.
we're gonna talk about 23, man. We're gonna talk about our boy 23, man.
Oh, I'm hyped about this one. I'm hyped about this one.
Let's see what MJ talking about, man. Let's see what happened to our boy.
let's get real. 2 years ago, he made a terrible investment with Gabe Plotkin. By the way, that's a minority owner who's buying the damn Hornets. So he told Gabe, yo, go ahead and bet $500 million of my money. I got you. It was like a verbal IOU. And Plotkin went and put a ton of money into the stock market, somewhere around $4 billion, and they lost. But instead of going to Jordan and saying, give me that $500 million, Plotkin said, I don't got it. I don't have the $4 billion I just bet. So then this man right here, Ken Griffin from Citadel, worth $32 billion, the richest man in Chicago, bailed them out. So Griffin gives Plotkin about $4 billion. None of this is a secret. This was about 8 months after their bad bet. He buys them out and covers their ass. But then he wants his money. He's here to collect. So Plotkin owes him. So now Plotkin pays him. But now Jordan owes Plotkin. It's a trickle-down effect. And Jordan don't got the money. Jordan made a bad bet. So he's got to sell his team to cover the bet. So he's selling to the guy he owes the money to. He's selling to his bookie. Now here's the thing. Plotkin used to work for Griffin. These are two multi-billionaires from Chicago, and they just fleeced Jordan out of ownership. And they're taking his team from him. Jordan just lost his seat at the big kids table. He can go make his millions with Nike, and you guys can say what you want. But this is a man who got into a world he couldn't keep up in. The world of billionaires. And he lost out, and he's out of the game.
All right, so yeah, I think it looks like Jordan made a move with his stake with the Charlotte what's it called? Charlotte who?
The Hornets.
The Hornets. Like he started to say his stake in that, of course, and it shows that he got rid of the team. There's like some back and forth on the backside of it, that some information is coming out that he may have lost money instead of really gaining it. So that question is, what y'all think about Big 23, Big Michael Jordan, losing billions, as they say?
Look, bro, I'll start off with this. And I love this topic because this is the perfect example of it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And we talking, this is a billionaire. A billionaire, and this is a legend. You know what I'm saying? Like I haven't did a lot of research into it, but I saw this and thought it was interesting. Allegedly, if this happened, this shows that just because you got billions, you can still lose a lot of it, and your whole lifestyle change. Like him losing his team in the way that they describe, which is basically he made a bet with somebody, bet kind of fell through or whatever, or did business with somebody. Business fell through for both people. The other guy go talk to a bigger money billionaire, say, hey, yo, can you bail me out? And he bails him out, but Jordan still owes. So, no, I'm sorry. Jordan goes to one guy. One guy doesn't have it, so he goes to the other guy. The other guy has the money. He take care of whatever they need. The one guy who, the intermediary guy had the money, pay off his debt to the other dude. Jordan still owed. And so now Jordan got to figure out how to pay them back because he don't got the liquid cash or investments or whatever to pay it back. He ended up selling his stake of the team to the middle person. He basically got hustled. You know what I'm saying? That's what it sounds like to me. And but it go back to the point of like, yo, play within your means. Even billionaires got their means that they got to stick within, which was crazy to me. But I thought this was a great topic because so many people think, oh, because I made $1 million or I'm a multi-millionaire or even a billionaire, you don't got to worry about money. Yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. You got to worry about your money because now all you're doing is playing the same game on a bigger level. Jordan allegedly was playing on a bigger level than what he knew how to maneuver through. And now he allegedly got hustled out of his major stake in the NBA franchise that he bought for like, I think $260 million. That's now worth like $4 billion or something like that. Like, yo, that's he made out well, but if you had to pay what you made out to somebody else, you didn't make it. You did not make it. You know what I'm saying? So that's a major L, bro. So that's kind of like my thoughts, man. Everybody still got to stay within their means, even if you're a billionaire. You can't maneuver and recklessly, even as a billionaire, when you're dealing with high money stakes. What do you say? Losing money is part of business and definitely a part of gambling. Exactly. Definitely a part of gambling, yo.
Well,
So,
two things about you. You can hear me, Paul?
yep, you sound better now.
All right, two things about MJ. You know he's highly competitive and he loves to gamble. And I think I don't know how credible this story is, but it sounds highly believable. You know, and they said the dude that he sent to go make the bet had a lot to do, was a big player in that GameStop and that AMC situation a couple years ago.
Yep, head
So,
punch. He a head punch guy. Yep.
yeah, so it makes sense that Jordan might have got bamboozled out his post because, and it's sad because I felt like Jordan originally was trying to sell the team to. He was trying to move from the Charlotte Bobcats because the NBA is going to get an expansion team in Las Vegas. So he was trying to beat out LeBron to be like the majority ownership of that team, but unfortunately he ran into this situation. So now it looked like he just could be living off them shoe checks for now.
Allegedly.
Allegedly, my bad.
Yeah.
He's still the GOAT. He's still the GOAT though. He might be a shitty gambler, but still the best basketball player of all time.
Mm-hmm. I am Mr. West. Shout out Mr. West. He got a good point. Assets are king. The key here is he had an asset to cover the loss, even though it's a hit. And that's the thing. Like he had the asset to cover it, but that's still playing within your realm. You know what I'm saying? And like he said, like I'm a gambler too. I can't even front. And this was like a cautionary tale to me. You know what I'm saying? Because I like, dang, it's not exactly something like I would do, but I can see that being a temptation. And if you don't know exactly who you get into business with and exactly what's going on, man, that can be a tricky situation. But like Mr. West said, at least he didn't have to dig into liquid cash to pay him. You know what I'm saying? And he's still like Jordan's still gonna be good regardless. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, so that ain't the thing, but it's just the fact of like, yo, like if you didn't want to sell your team, this is a bad way to try to sell it because this is a big asset that probably was in his asset column that he just lost due to gambling. Like it's crazy, yo.
Yeah.
What's your thoughts, Trey? What you feeling like?
I want to hear G, bro. I told you don't stop being quiet. I know you work in the technical side, but I want to hear you, bro.
What you got, G? What you got?
Oh shoot. This topic, I ain't got nothing to do with that. I'm small money compared to that. I don't talk about men's pockets. That man made billions because he lost billions. I ain't got nothing to do with it. That man MJ, he a gambler and he do his thing. He's still a billionaire, man. So I
Do
don't
you
know
think
why
there's any
people are
lessons
worrying
out of
about it.
it?
Huh?
Is there any lessons that you learned from it, or that
Right.
you like that you could take away from it?
No, I mean I ain't the same path that I'm on. I mean I think most millionaires and billionaires are risk takers. He a risk taker, so I mean he gonna make more risk. He gonna make more money. Only scared money don't make no money. So shoot, so if you want to be baggled down and not take risks, I ain't sure you gonna stay where you at.
You gotta
So
take
I'm on his side. Yeah, I'm on his. I'm a risky dude. So
You gotta take smart.
100%.
What?
What happened?
What?
I'm reading the comment. I was reading Mr. West's comment. Go ahead.
Oh.
Go ahead, Keith.
No, I was saying take risks, but take smart risks. You can take
Exactly. I don't
think there's much of a difference between smart because you don't know what's going to be the end of it. So how you don't usually know if it's a smart risk or a bad risk. So that's why that's one thing. That's why it's called a risk.
The smart risks are the ones that you look at stats for. I'll fuck it with you, but I'm gonna say this is I don't have any. I agree with the whole premise. Like, I'm not canceling Jordan, even if it was a move that didn't go well. I still apply him for making that move. Most people sit in timidity when it comes to making any type of risk like that. Know who you're dealing with. Just because somebody else got money, don't mean that they're a credible resource. Don't mean that they're looking out for you. A lot of people. Unfortunately, there are a lot of snakes out here when it comes to playing with money because a lot of people want their cut and yours too. You know what I mean? And then when it comes to some type of like this, some type of liability, whoever you partner with, if you're not fully, like partnered, then that person more likely is going to cover their own ass. They're going to make sure that they straight, regardless if the risk is you now. You know what I'm saying? We can cut you out. You know what I mean? Or cut out the middleman, whatever. So do more do more research into who you can trust with this type of money. You know what I'm saying? With any type of money. Um, don't be so quick to just jump on a trend or fad, or if it looks like an opportunity, that's one of the risks. That's one of the gambles that you got to take. So I applaud him for being able to make uh, that type of thing. What I don't want this to happen is I don't want the stereotype of black people can't handle money type thing to go around. That's what I don't want to happen, because that's the report that I had been getting from outside of the podcast. It's like, see, that's why you don't give a nigga money. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want that to go around.
Because it shouldn't go around because Jordan's still gonna be good. You know
That's
what
what
I'm
I'm
saying?
saying.
Like, I think that's the part. Like, and I'm not trying to say like, yo, Jordan lost everything. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, he didn't, man. Jordan made wise investments early that's gonna take care of him, his kids, and his kids' kids. You know what I'm saying? Like that Nike deal, he ain't got to worry about nothing else. It
Right.
just, it just to me, man. Like, I'm just thinking if he wanted to keep the team, to lose an asset you want to keep because of I'm not gonna say not not having the knowledge, but it seems like just not doing your research properly. I think that's the part, and that's the thing. Like when it comes to investing, man, and for those that don't know, I am in the financial service industry.
Hmm.
I got my life insurance license and investment license and things like that, man. It's no investment that's guaranteed. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like yo, like it's always risk with whatever investment that you take. So it is always that possibility, but there's things you could do to hedge it. Now, once you get into that money, he's what we call like an accredited investor. So like I think that's people that got net worth over $1 million. They got
Hmm.
access. They got access to different investments we can't even think about. People think 6, 12% is good. These people like, man, no, I want 30 to 40, 50% return on my money. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? They playing on a whole different league, but they can
Yeah,
also
I want
lose
that
it.
anyway.
They also gonna lose it. They can lose it like that too. So you playing in a different field, but it takes so much. It just to me, man, it's that it allegedly, if this has happened, if this did
Hmm.
happen, I wanted to one take the time out to educate people on learning your investment strategy, learning to invest within your means so you don't lose things that you really want to keep in your portfolio. But then it's two, it's like dang, like yo, Jordan had like yo, like Jordan had owned the NBA team. Like he was the majority owner. Like he had control over it. And then now see he not in control. And basically the way like the media been putting it, like they act like he gonna be gone away. He's still a minority owner. You know what I'm saying? He still got a small part in the Bobcats. But the thing
Hmm.
is though, now he kind of get pushed to the wayside now. Like he not the face of the Charlotte Bobcat, the Charlotte Hornets. I'm sorry. Is it? Yeah, yeah. No, it's the Bobcats. Bobcats and Hornets. Put down in the comment section. Help me out. Um, but it's just the fact of like, yo, man, like that allure of having Jordan as the face of that franchise now is, and the main control person is gone. And for me being a Jordan person, that's what sucked for me. And if he lost it due to uh it wasn't financially beneficial for him, that's what sucked to me. You know what I'm saying? But in the investment games, man, you get wins and you get losses. And he just happened to be big enough to take these losses that he got coming up. So we got my man West in the building, Big
Mr.
West in the
West.
building.
Peace, peace, peace.
What's good, West? What's good, West, man? Hey, what's your thoughts on the topic? How you feel about it, man?
Oh man, well, I just keep it on the assets, man. I think the biggest thing is that we need to learn is that we need some assets, and you can't play no type of game if you don't own nothing.
Mhm.
And then, that a deeper conversation is, owning nothing and controlling everything, but that's a different thing.
Awesome, man.
We
Yeah,
gotta
we gotta
start
talk about that.
somewhere.
We gotta talk about
Yeah.
that.
We gotta start somewhere. So I believe, like I said earlier, he had an asset that could cover that loss. It was a big risk. And then you look at what's his name? Elon Musk was one of the richest men in the world, and then he took a hit based off of part of his asset is ownership in his company. So when that stock went down, his so-called wealth went down. You know what I mean? So it's a part of the game, and you just got to know that this is just one transaction, and that if you really a businessman, you'll bounce back from this.
Mm-hmm. That's a good point. That's a good point, Wes. I like how you broke that down. I know G getting ready to get the next topic and everything loaded up. Anybody got any other final thoughts and everything on this topic?
This is my opinion, and I hold strong to it. But this is why you want to bring your people with you, or you share the wealth and the knowledge, share the resources and stuff like that, because I don't think there was nobody there to look out for him or like help him with the decision or none of that stuff. Like, I don't feel like those were a good team for what happened. You know what I'm saying? Now I know he's great, I know he good, but I don't think he had a good team. I don't think he had good support. So that's why I like to bring my people. Y'all come on, work as hard as we do, and we can all build. And then the investments, it won't hit as much when there's more people in the pot. You know what I mean? We can take some L's and make more moves and keep on rolling.
Mm, That's a
You
good
think
point,
too,
Trey.
that last dance, you show how arrogant MJ is at times, though. You feel what I mean? So he may have some people that do have the knowledge, but he feel like he the greatest. So he
Mm-hmm.
may not be listening to that counsel. You know what I mean? Because you think about the billionaires, man. No billionaire sitting in a room by himself making all the decisions.
Exactly.
You
Yeah.
know, like Steve Jobs, he had a very creative mind, but he didn't make all the this. He wasn't the best businessman. He had the
Yeah.
innovation, but he had people around him. You got the Tim Cooks, you got the people that were
Mhm.
learning or looking at what his flaws were and able to help stand him up and make Apple what it was. You know what I mean? So it's
Yeah.
really like you saying, Trey, your counsel. You know what I mean? If you don't
Mhm.
have good counsel around you, you will fall. Even with like the FMF podcast. I mean, y'all good brothers without y'all having y'all all different aspects of specialty and then all different opinions is what makes this great, because you all are bringing something of value, which makes the whole thing good. You know what I mean? Not one person is gonna make it great. Just like how Kanye say, one man can't have all that power because it's gonna crumble.
Yeah.
Absolute power corrupts absolutely. You know what I mean? And we see that all the time with so-called black billionaires. You know what I mean? Because we put them up so high to think that that's the one. No, Jay-Z
Right.
got people around him too. He still got Tata with him. So we
Yep.
can't discount the team just because we got someone that's considered a figurehead, but we don't want to get
Mhm.
full of ourselves when we are put in a position of leadership to believe that it's just us. No, you are just the one that has the voice, or you are just the one that has the face for it, but you
Mhm.
representing the whole, and that whole is what's making it real.
There you go.
That's a good way to put it, man. And I think and then I'm gonna say that anytime you make an investment though, it's a risk. He might have all the proper counsel and all of that. And especially when you play at that level, when you get to that level, yo, like big risk, big reward. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So he might have took that swing and struck out. But I think
Yeah.
that for me, to bring it down to people at our level, you don't got billions to play with. You know what I'm saying? You might don't even got millions to play with. Yo, you gotta like be able to do your research, learn to stay within your means and everything as you continue to build and also, like y'all said, scare money don't make money, but don't be ignorant either. You
There
know what
you
I'm
go.
saying? Like, yo, don't be ignorant. Don't just try to jump on any wave and you ain't do your research just because everybody else saying it. So I think it's a good chance to educate people on that, investments do have risks, but they got big
Yeah.
reward. And as long as you know like how to, do your research, get, like you say, the proper team, the proper people around you that can point you in the right direction, and you got basic knowledge and understanding, it don't got to be as risky for you. So I definitely wanted to say that. Keith and G, y'all got anything y'all want to wrap up with?
No, I think y'all pretty much hit every nail on the head. So
Y'all got it.
All right, bet. So I think we got one more. We got one more video, right, G?
Yeah, we're looking at time. We have one, maybe two, depends on how y'all feeling.
Okay. So I know we're gonna get through this next one. We'll see. Like we said, we'll check with time and everything. But Wes, how you doing, man?
Yeah.
You doing all right?
Oh
Everything
man, I'm
going well
good,
for you?
man. I'm good. This is Good Friday, man. I'm glad y'all doing this.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. Shout out to Mr. West in the building.
Yeah.
Man, he a good brother. Another repeat guest on our show. He got his own podcast. He got his own books, the 3Ps and everything, man. When we upload this later on, we'll make sure we put all that stuff in the description. There you go. You got plugged in right there. So y'all make sure y'all go check that out and
Oh, you
everything
got the
like that.
physical copy.
Yeah, the Jake Fire too, yo. If you haven't gotten it already, I highly suggest it, yo. Like, it's a
Yeah.
good book, man. I got the ebook
Actually,
version.
I was gonna
Me
say
too.
if you matter of fact, that's what I do. You go on thesilencestore.com and use the code FMF. After this episode is over, you can get 50% off.
Woo!
There we
Boom.
go.
Boom.
Let's go.
Come
Yes,
on,
sir.
sponsor.
he said, "Come on."
I'm gonna have to clip that. I'm gonna have to clip that and put it on every one of our videos, man. That's gonna have to be up front with it.
Let's
Yeah,
There we
go.
go.
Let's go.
We're gonna
yeah,
clip that.
that's what's up. That's what's up, man. So yeah, we get
Right.
you getting the video and everything together
Man,
for us.
next video is from a subscriber. He sent me this after seeing our episode of our live on. I don't think it was a live. He saw an old video of ours. I think it was. Let me look at my message. I'm sorry, y'all. He said he sent it. I had screenshot it.
You good, G?
Off of Black Culture way back.
Yeah.
He sent it off of this. Shout out to D, homeboy D. You wanna load this joint up?
All right.
So we ain't really doing no Black Culture 5 right now. We're letting y'all know this ain't no Black Culture 5. We do them every once in a while. So we ain't doing that again. We just talked about that. So if y'all want to see that one, make sure y'all check out the live, and then we'll be able to upload the full episode coming up soon, man. But go check the live, go find the timestamps. Y'all find it on your own. But we ain't gonna do it again. Another one. All right.
This nigga.
Let's see.
Black. Let me go ahead and put the gloves on real quick.
Yeah, it's gonna say. That's what I said. It said black. I said, oh god. And then I saw Dr. Phil. I said, oh
Yeah.
gosh.
You're right.
I said, oh gosh. As
Not
soon
this
as he
nigga.
said that, I said, oh gosh, what this guy sent me. All right. I looked at it once. I'll let y'all look at it, see what y'all think. So it's a random joint.
All right.
3,700 free blacks who own 12,000 slaves, black slaves. The question is, do the descendants of those free blacks who own black slaves, do they pay? Blacks really benefited more the first 100 years after slavery than we have in the last 50 years. I was born in 1937 during the Depression. Everyone in my small, low-income black community, 98% of the households had a man and a woman raising children. Elderly people could walk safely in that community without fear of being assaulted by their grandchildren. Never heard a gunfire during that time. Never heard of a child being shot to death in the crib. But there are 50 children today who have been shot and killed in our cities. If you're talking about remedies, we've got to look beyond saying that every solution has to have a winner and a loser, that blacks can only benefit if whites lose. We have to be defined more than just victims of oppression. When whites were at their worst, blacks were at their best. When we were denied access to hotels, we built our own. we have to communicate to our people the history of how they achieved in the face of oppression. But if we continue to sit back and say all of the challenges that we face in out of wedlock births of violence, that somehow the control of that is in the hands of white America, and therefore until white people change, there's nothing that we can do. This sets up a terrible situation for this nation. The big crisis facing America is not racial. It is the moral and spiritual freefall that is consuming our children. The highest death rate among Black families is homicide. Among Silicon Valley, the highest level of suicide, 6 times the national average. In Appalachia, they're prescription drugs. And so if we are to address this crisis that is causing our children to lack a sense of personal responsibility or value for their own life, they will take their own life or take someone else's. So in order to address that, we must come together and look beyond race and realize America is drowning because it's in the moral and spiritual freefall. None of us should be defined by the worst of what we were in the past, but we should be defined by what we want to become in the future. And that people are motivated to change when you give them a vision of victories that are possible, not constantly reminding them of injuries to be avoided.
Hey,
That's my second time listening to it. I got to get a grasp of what he's saying now. He said a
So
lot in it.
He did.
if that won't
That's
G
a
when
lot.
he's 60 years old, I don't know what.
Ain't it? You know what I mean? I know G is doing backflips right now, goddamn. That's why the camera off. He had to do a cartwheel real quick. He was been
Like, I
quiet the
told
whole
y'all.
time. He
I
ready.
told
He
y'all.
ready.
I've been telling y'all.
Hey G, so what's the question? What you want what you want to know, or are we just reacting to the video?
That's like that's what I was trying to think of with it. I thought it was an interesting one. The main thing that caught my eye was at the beginning where they're still talking about the affirmative action stuff, and everybody's trying to include the
Reparations.
reparations. I guess the reparations they've been trying to get done for the last how long they've been talking about reparations
Man.
for a minute.
Since we got
Since,
free.
yeah, forever. Yeah, forever.
They need to take reparations and student loan
Since
forgiveness and
slavery
put
got
that shit in the
abolished.
pocket.
Pretty much.
I think reparations is a facade. I think that's one of the things that's like thrown in black faces to keep them distracted. Because even if they were to agree on giving us reparations, who would get what, how? You know what I mean? Like it's. I don't think that's the solution. I never really looked into reparations. I always look back at what G would say is accountability and what you need to do now in order to build what you need now, and working now instead of looking for a handout from then. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you didn't, it's your ancestors that deserve that. We didn't do or have to face and endure that type of turmoil. Um, so I would agree in that sense when it comes to that. Now, the point he made about having black slave owners, the one thing I wanted to say is this is why history is important. Because yes, I am aware that there was black slave owners. Hell, I got a, I don't got it with me, but I got a $2 bill and it had a black man on it. So that means within the founder fathers, it was a black dude there. You know what I'm saying? It was one, but it was a black guy there in the company. Um,
We got one.
so like, yeah, I mean, nigga, we made it, and so this is why it's important to learn more about your history. But the main way that we learn our history, because I mean, it is history, it is fact that our history, our culture was erased and taken from us and replaced and misguided. So the main way that we keep our history and know our history was through oral tradition. We didn't have we didn't have any more scripts. They burned our libraries and all of our documentation. They erased some of the hieroglyphs and all of that stuff. You know, they shot the nose off the pharaoh. All of that. We know this. This is history. All right. So that's why I say you can't have community without communication, because we do not know a lot about ourselves, and it's on ourselves to start communicating. It's not beneficial when the youth have the energy, the elder has the wisdom, but the youth don't want to listen to the elder, and the elder now doesn't want to talk to the youth. Now we're disconnected. Now, you know, we aren't making no movement. We're not making no progress. We don't even know where to start. So I was just having this conversation earlier with one of my customers, and she said that it's never going to change. I said, well, I don't believe that, but I do see why you feel that way.
She said change about what?
About black progression. You know what I'm saying? Like the same thing that you would say. Like, when is it going to change? Like, she said that. Let me correct that. She said that it's never. Uh, Black people will never rule this. It's not made for us to rule. You know what I mean? So that's what she was, that was more so the point that she was hinting at. It was like, we're never gonna like take over the system. You know, they're never gonna fully include us. So why even try to be included?
I agree with. I mean,
I
I kind
I
of agree.
I want to. It's a specific thing in there. I want to touch
Address.
on. Pause. Uh, but-
That was you was fine right there, Paul.
You was reaching on that one a little bit.
Hey, G be creeping back into the screen like, yo, like what is that? I was just trying to cover my bases, but it was. I want to touch on the fact that he talked about
The moral and
we
spiritual.
can't rely, like when we talk about, we can't rely on the system or white people to come save us and things like that. And the interpretation I got from it is that, like, yo, like when we express what's going on in the system, or when we talk about, you know, some areas of inequality, I think you think we looking for help sometimes. And I don't view it that way. We just showing you a mirror, like, yeah, this is what y'all got going on, but we're gonna figure out a way around this stuff. We're gonna figure out our way to overcome this hurdle, because every challenge that's been put in front of us, we've overcome it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
From Jim Crow, segregation, then they want to integrate back with us because they seen we was thriving and building up our own Black Wall Streets and money circulating with us. So they want us to come back in to get our money and things like that. So we overcome all of these challenges, but just because we show y'all or we say something isn't right, that don't mean we looking for y'all to fix it necessarily. Now, I will say is some people that do want the handouts and that do want the you know, that assistance from like the government or from quote unquote white people or the system. But I think most of the people that I know, it's just like, yeah, these are the challenges that we facing,
Right.
but we won't figure out ways to overcome it and things like that. I think that's one of the biggest disconnects when we talk to other races, is that when we express what we've been through, they view it as, oh, you want a cookie. You know what I'm
Right.
saying? Like, no, we let you know, like, this is what happened. You asked about me, you asked what's going on, or maybe you didn't. I'm gonna tell you what's going on.
Right.
And even with all that stuff that went on, we still gonna find a way around it. We're gonna find a way to succeed. We're gonna find a way to overcome. So, because he did touch on a lot of stuff in that video, but
Yeah.
that part was the part that kind of stuck out to me. And then to kind of go to the back to Trey point with like the slavery and things like that. It's easy in whatever culture or whatever race to pick out the minority that might have did the most worst things and say, yo, y'all did this too. You know what I'm saying? But what it is like that's a very, very small few. And them people adapted the culture that they was brought into. And so they was like, well, shoot, if this how we gonna do it, we're gonna do it bigger and better than y'all. We're gonna get the most slaves, we're
Mm-hmm.
gonna be the hardest on them and everything. You know what I'm saying? They just adapted to
Wait,
what they was brought into, and they wanted to prove themselves to you know the slave masters that hey, I'm on the same level as y'all, but in order to prove I'm on the same level, I gotta be 10 times worse. You know what I'm saying? So I think yes, we had black slave masters and things like that. Just like every race got their people that did bad things. That don't mean to try to use it as a like a talking point when that's not really the majority or that's not even really the minority. That's very minute. I think
Mm-hmm.
that's the part. But we not gonna disregard it like it didn't happen. Be like, yeah, they was there, but let's you
It's
good? You talked
history.
about that? All right, great. Now
It's
let's
history.
talk about this now. So I wanted to
If I
kind of
could,
address that point.
uh,
if I could try to clarify, I think that it's two sides of the coin when we hear that type of communication. Like, obviously, we've had enough discussion to where when we mention uh, the forces at bay or the challenges that be, uh, one side would be like, well, so what is a challenge? You got to work through it anyway. And the other one is, like you're copping a plea, but there are a few who just hold on to the fact that they're a victim,
Mhm.
uh, who hold on to the fact that there are challenges. And a lot of people, if you tell somebody this is going to be hard, then more than likely they don't want to do it. So a lot of people say, a lot of our people who do say, it's going to be hard or it's more challenging for us to do such and such thing. Most of them haven't actually put in the work or the attempt to go. Like somebody will say, man, you can't even get approved on a loan. Most of them haven't even tried to get a loan, So, um, just to try to bring bridge the clarity on that is we can't use the challenges as excuses, but we can't ignore the fact that there are challenges.
Exactly. Exactly. I think Keith,
um,
you was about to go and say something, Keith.
no, to piggyback off what you were talking about, slavery was world commerce. It wasn't just white people doing it. Even in the
Mhm.
Woman King, we saw that the
Yeah.
homie, am I
The
saying that right?
owner,
They were
yeah.
responsible for making sure the slaves got to the shore and Europeans would come and get them and be a smooth transition and whatnot.
Hmm.
Um, but one thing that stood out to me in the video is when bruh said the problem in the world is our moral and spiritual. What did you say? I'm sorry, my short term memory is shot.
Yeah,
Uh,
but yeah, something along that line, more spiritual and
Hmm.
Moral conflicts, yeah.
yeah,
yeah.
yeah, because we so. I mean, a lot of us in our own community, we backwards, right? Like, far as
Hmm.
moral, we honor, we don't respect a lot of things, right? We'll say uh, we don't respect Horus, but we honor Horus because we looking at porn or we looking at the rap videos and we're like, yeah, that's the life I want to live. That's I want to be around those type of women.
Mhm.
And we really not. I think with as far as the youth, he was talking about back in the day, the neighborhood didn't have nobody, shooting and whatnot, and the men and women were raising the families, but now the youth aren't living right because it seems like the only thing they honor is death. You know,
Mm.
uh,
Mm.
and that's in our music. You know, in the street.
Mm.
We talked about bruh the graduation a couple weeks ago. Like death is the only thing we honor. And that's kind of wild to me. I'm sorry, I'm not the best speaker, but that's what I wanted to.
Nah, that's cringeworthy, bro. And I'm glad that you brought that point up because there's a lot of youth that I talk to who like I'm gonna die for mine and I'm gonna die by my respect and I'm
Yeah,
gonna die and I'm gonna die and I'm gonna die and I'm like, bro, how about you try living? You know what I'm saying? Like, why you so eager to die? You know what I mean? Like, it's a blessing if you make it past 21. Well, how about we like how about we fix that? Like you
Yeah.
just became an adult. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
Life is
yeah.
a
So
starting point.
that's a bar, bro. Yeah, I appreciate that.
Yeah. What you got, Mr. West? What you got, man?
Oh, well, a couple things because he did drop some jewels in what he said that after slavery was that first 100 years after slavery was some of our best years, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
definitely in agreement and in harmony with that because we can see that we had black towns like he spoke on when we weren't getting accepted in their restaurants and their hotels. We built our own. It seems like now when things are so convenient, when integration is so convenient that we don't know how to build for ourselves. But the access to information is there. Like I said, we got artificial intelligence now where you can write a book without knowing how to write a book, but yet
Yeah.
people still don't know how to write a book. You see what I'm saying? So we that black victim mentality, and that's one thing, and I'm glad you shared this as well, and the timeliness of it, because we talked about this morning as well about reparations and what will happen if
hmm
we don't get reparations. Well, we haven't received reparations up to this point, and we still have been able to find a way. You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
still have people like Michael Jordan, black billionaire, like we were just talking about earlier, that slavery didn't stop him from doing that. Slavery ain't stop him from being in conversations with those other billionaires gambling, and they not looking at him like, okay, you used to be a slave, so why you in this room with me? You know what
Mm-hmm.
I mean? So it's that mentality, and when you look at reparations and that word reparations, the root of it means
Repair.
to repair or restore, and money is
hmm
not going to fix this mindset. We got
Yep.
to
Yeah,
fix our brain. We got to literally unlearn what we think we know and learn what we need in order to build for ourselves. And that's why I'm heavy on education. I'm heavy on knowing your options. I'm heavy on let's find a solution because we all can point out the problem. We all know what the problem is. The problem
right.
has never been money. Like I said, we spend over $2 trillion a year. So we got the money. We just don't know what to do with it. So like if
Mm-hmm.
reparations did come down, they gave $250,000 to every black family or foundational black American. That money gonna go right back into the system because our mind is broken in the
Yep.
sense that we believe that our only savior can be the one that actually change you up. You know what I mean? And that's not necessarily white people. That is a mindset. That is just
Dark
oppression in general.
syndrome.
Because like he brought up, there were black slave owners. There was
Mm-hmm.
slavery. Slavery always has happened. Whenever
Yeah.
there was war, someone became a prisoner of war. They became a slave to that new king. You see what I'm saying? Now, how did you treat your slaves? Now, this is some new thing that we talk about where so-called white man came and started a new type of slavery where you talking about an absolute breaking of a human being.
Yeah.
When
Yep.
Right.
we think about slavery in the United States, they promote 1619, but these boats came over here in 1555. So what about those 64 years of making a slave? What about those
hmm
years where you had to break those Africans and make them into your cargo, make them into your workhorse, make them into your breeding ground so that you can do that? We forget about
Yeah.
those 64 hidden years. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So we have to be, like Trey said, you have to know your history. They gonna only tell you their story, and they have every right to tell you their story. They won that war, so they
Yep.
have the right to write their story. Now we at a point now where we need to write our own story and
Mm-hmm.
not keep worrying about what people did. They did it, but that don't change the reality that what you can do for yourself. And I want to land it on this as well, that it's about what business is personal, and a lot of times we adapt that mentality that we think that, oh, it's business is business. Like Young Thug got an album, business
Right.
is business. No, that mentality is not real. What you do in business is a reflection of what you do in reality in your
Exactly.
personal
Come
life.
on. Come on,
So
Wes.
we have to understand that if we're gonna play a game, you either gonna play the game the way it was designed or you're not gonna play it at all. You can't play the game and then say, you know what, I was just playing a game. That ain't how I really feel. No, that's really how you feel because you thought about it. You
Yep.
had to
Mm.
come up with a strategy on how you was gonna play that game. So that is how you feel. Now you may not express that in everyone because you may wear a mask and say, well, I just did that in the name of business. But imagine
hmm
when business isn't there anymore and you find out that that business deal that you did fell out, how you really feel is gonna show. When you
Come
lose
on.
money in that business deal, it becomes personal. When your family is affected by that business, is personal. So we have to understand that business is personal, especially for us, because every other culture treats business as personal. You know what I mean?
Come on
We just
now.
look after Asians, white look after white. Indian look out the Indian. Everybody looks out for themselves but us. But we have the ability to seem to point out all these flaws for some reason, but don't have any solutions, which I don't like talking about the problem too much. And like I said, I just want to focus on the solution. And the solution is we need to work on our mindset. We need to work on us as a people first before we think about throwing money at the problem, because clearly throwing money at the problem ain't gonna fix it. Other cultures have got reparations because they stand on something. The Japanese got reparations. You see what I'm saying? Native Americans got reservations. They got something. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But we
Yeah.
found how we can get how many divisions we can make. Oh, I'm Pan-Africanist. Oh, I'm a Moor. Oh, I'm a Hebrew Israelite. That's why they can't give no money to nobody, because we don't have any black political stance on anything. There are no black super PACs to change any laws. There are no black coalitions that actually are funded 100% by black, where they can do what they want to do. It's we are literally talking about trying to change something when we are all scattered out like a hand. Just like we think about a hand, you can slap
Yes.
somebody, it might sting, but if you close
Right.
that into a fist, now you're gonna get your attention. You see what I'm saying? But we don't want to come together. We want to see how far can we make these fingers go. And I'm the thumb, and I'm so important because without me, you can't grip nothing. No, you need the thumb, the pinky, the middle finger, the index finger, and the ring finger in order to be a hand. And before you get to that, you got skin around that. You got bones in there. You got muscles in there. We all got a piece of this puzzle, but because we so divided and so we so emotionally charged, we don't think in logic. We think that we got to do everything by ourselves, like we always talk about. This individualistic approach only works in psychology. It doesn't work in reality. You need a team, you need a family, and you need a village. So I'll leave it at that.
Preach.
Hey, I
Come
want
here.
a mic drop on that, Jay. Great, Jay.
Preach. Come here, AJ.
Y'all can hear me?
Yes.
All right, good. My mic keep on going in and out. I'm sorry. She's saying, hello?
Yeah, yeah, we got you.
Let me get some new headphones. Now that was good. Wes pretty pretty good. He's moving towards the solution rather than the problem. I go off of the main thing he said. The same thing like the key said is the your mindset, your moral high ground, and basically your spiritual lifestyle. Um, God said for us to love everybody and our enemies. So once you start releasing the hate towards sometimes that you able to see a little bit clearer. So in my instance, I was able to let go of a few things and understand that everybody's human and God said to love everybody. So started moving my way of thinking into a spiritual vision. So when I say that, and I'm moving towards my lifestyle as far as I align with people more as far as their class and their spirituality rather than their race now, just because I think that's the natural way of God made things. So if you see yourself as far as seeing God first and realize that you want to do better for yourself and you want to see the world in a better place, then I can align with you rather if you yellow, white, green, pink, whatever color you are. So since I've gone to that route of thinking, some things have been a little bit more clear for me personally. So when he says that people that once we weren't slaves anymore, that we were able to thrive a little bit better. I think that black people probably came together not just because of their color, because they all united as far as a mindset of they wanted to do better as all people together. So once that broke up, as far as I don't know what happened. I don't think nobody really knows what happened. Can't understand why some way we were good and all of a sudden between that time and now we're not as successful as we were back then. I mean, who knows? We can look at statistics. We can probably look at documentaries. We can listen to him, but I don't think nobody will ever know the real answer. So everybody will have, of course, an opinion. No telling what happened. We're never going to know. Only God knows. So can't really talk upon that, but we got to figure out how they had the mindset of being together and understanding that all men were created equal and you can do almost anything in this world. We got to get back to that and stop loving as Keith would say, that killing culture. I think it's just killing people, period. I don't know what's the infatuation with anybody with
with
death.
death.
I don't know what's the infatuation with it nowadays. I think it's a spiritual war, and some people
Mhm.
don't believe in spiritual, but I 100% believe it's a spiritual war.
Mhm.
So I think once we all get to a place where we all can get on the same mindset of what class we want to be in as far as human beings, and somewhat get away from the white power, Asian power, black power, and all come together as far as one people, we can be able to make a better world. I think so. It's too much. I think it's too much competition and too much division right now.
Mhm.
Um,
Hmm.
my personal way of thinking. I'm starting to align with people. I don't care what color you are. You got the same values as me. You want to see somewhere you want to go. I rock with you. So I don't want to miss my blessing because of a color. So
I
I
feel
think
that
it's all on growth, but I think everybody has their own path.
absolutely, absolutely, and I'm right there, right with you, man. I agree with you wholeheartedly. But I do want to see my people thrive. You know what I'm saying? So I do push a little harder for black. But I am a humanitarian. I rather everybody could, get along. And this is one thing that I love about us is we normally come to that conclusion. Um, about having, we can see past that, the divide. I think that's a superpower of us, to be able to withstand all that and still be like, no, I still love you. And that's what I was talking about back on unconditional. This is what you're talking of is unconditional love.
Mhm.
Um, so I love that, but I do want to see my people push a little more. You know what I mean? I do want to see more unity amongst us. Uh, Not gonna lie, I'd like to see more unity amongst us before the whole kumbaya, everybody get together. Um, I want to see us together stronger. Um, there was another point I was gonna make. You brought up some great topics, some great points. Um, what I was gonna say. We're gonna go ahead and go to the next person until I get it right.
If I can add in real quick too, when you think about that black victim mentality, and the sister brought that up earlier this morning, but what we are seeing some of our people dealing with is so-called Stockholm syndrome. Some of us
Yeah.
have been through certain things, which is not to excuse the behavior. It's just a reality that some people actually have trust in someone who has hurt them. You see what
Mm,
I'm saying? So we can't be oblivious to what has happened. And that's one thing that I want to make sure is clear,
Mhm.
that just because we speak on, or just like what Paul said, just because we raise that mirror up and show you what you've done does not mean we hate you. We
Exactly.
want you,
mhm.
some of us want you to acknowledge the truth. Just acknowledge what was done so that we can help those people who do have that Stockholm syndrome to release that trauma and understand that, okay, they acknowledge they did do some wrongdoing. I'm not acting or thinking the way I'm thinking just because. You know what I mean? It's not just
Yeah.
I woke up on the wrong side of the bed loving my oppressor type of thing. And that's why
Yeah.
I try to use the word oppressor and not white people, because like I said, we oppress each other too. You
That's
know what I
right.
Well.
mean? That oppressive energy has no color on it. You see what I'm saying?
Hmm.
And that's where we have to understand that, trauma is real. These so-called syndromes are real as well, but they are a effect from a cause. You know what I mean? Nothing is just by happenstance. There is no random. You know what I mean? So we
Yeah.
have to be clear that just because we're speaking on something is not that we hate it. Is not that we're trying to expose somebody and say, "Oh, look what you did." No, let's just deal with reality. Once we can, that's part of when you're dealing with people that's getting over addiction. They got to
Hmm.
acknowledge it first. So
Yes.
sometimes we have some people acknowledge that you got people that are narcissists that won't acknowledge that they're narcissists. That when you can't get past that until you acknowledge your problem. You got some people that don't
Yeah.
realize that they are addicted to certain drugs or certain foods and things like that, but they don't even see that
Mm,
they got a problem. You know what I
right.
mean? So we just have to first, that's why that work is so important on yourself. Like when we talk
Mhm.
about restoring and repairing, you got to restore and repair yourself, because many of us strive to do businesses and sometimes we get insecure because it's something in us that we need to repair. And one thing
Right.
I'm learning that your business will grow when you grow. There
Yep.
is no professional development without personal development. You can't just say,
Facts.
okay, I'm just going to focus on my career right now. The reason why your career is going the way it is because you as a person is not growing. You feel what I'm saying? So we have to understand these. And when we tell these harsh truths, when we talk about the millions of people that were abused and beat and the towns that were destroyed and bombed, it's not a conspiracy theory. It's the truth. It's what
That's the
happened. You know what
truth.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we have to be able to, even our people have to accept that, yes, there are
Accept
people
it.
out here that don't like you just because they don't like you. There are people
Yeah.
out here that are scared of you and because they know who you are and just because you don't know who you are. But that doesn't mean that you need to hate them. That means you need to
Mhm.
love yourself enough to not be concerned about what they're doing so
Mhm.
you can do what you
Yeah.
need to do.
I'm trying
Come
to.
on.
You said something in there, a few points. Well, I'll ask the overall point. Um, what is it going to take for Black people to feel more comfortable and feel like they've been apologized to enough? When is the point for you? You think it'll get there? What do they have to do more?
I don't think they're looking for an apology. I just
Oh, no,
think they're looking
I'm
for.
sorry. I ain't trying to be. I'm trying to ask Wes. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
we don't want to talk to you, Trey. We want to
So
talk to
I don't believe I don't believe that everyone is looking for an apology. I feel like those who are dealing with that denial of reality, I feel like there is no limit to how somebody can apologize. You know, like you can rub somebody the wrong way, and no matter how many times you say I'm sorry, I apologize, I won't do it again. If they don't want to let it go, they're not gonna let it go. And that's
Mhm.
one thing that I have gotten to the point as well that we don't need all 40 million Black people to be on the same page. You see what I'm
Right.
saying? There's been countless wars. There's been countless triumphs and victories with small groups. Some people like to watch Sparta, that movie 300. 300
Yeah.
people did something magnificent. You see what I'm saying? So we don't need everybody to be on the same page. And that's one thing too that I like to talk about is unity is not uniformity. We all don't need to be having the same religion, wear the same clothes, and think the same thing. But
Come
the
on.
people that are like-minded can do some work. So some people would never, it would never be enough. White people can say, you know what? We did this for 460 plus years. We did our best to build our world on top of your backs. We apologize. We ain't gonna never do it again. And it's still gonna be some Black people that say, you know what? I don't
Fuck
believe
you.
you. You see what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
there
What do you
has to be some
mean?
discretion there though.
So I'm trying to. So I mean, with you saying that, that means it defeats your purpose. I'm trying to figure out what do they have to do. I'm just trying to figure it out. Like what's because
They
all.
don't have to do anything.
So you,
We
but
need
you
to
said
do it.
you said that they have to acknowledge it. What do they have to acknowledge?
The people that need it, I'm talking about as far as when the people that do want to cry out and show that mirror, they need the people that they're showing that mirror to acknowledge it. Now, like I said, me personally, I don't need no oppressor to tell me. I know the history, so I'm not looking for no type of validation for that. You see what I'm saying? So when I'm speaking on that, I'm speaking for those who do want to say, you know what, look what y'all did all these years, all these people y'all killed. You still have people that they showing that mirror to people that don't care about that. They still gonna deny it. Some people are always gonna deny the truth, but you can't help the whole group is not gonna understand. So I don't want it to be that I'm looking at all Black people not looking for an apology. So
What
most
you
Black
mean that
people are looking for a solution.
so when you said some Black people are saying that they did this, they did this. So you think there's white people out here that says that we never did it?
Yes. There's white people that believe that slavery was not real.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There's
So
Facts.
white
they
people that believe
so
that the Confederate flag is actually a flag of honor. You know what I mean? There's people that believe that, oh, slavery happened, but yeah, you know, we didn't really hurt you that bad. You know, there's people that don't believe that they were actually breeding people. There's people that don't believe that they were splitting people in half by dragging them by two different horses from two different directions. They think that some of this stuff is fake.
Mhm.
Just like
so
you
I
got
mean
certain people
if
that believe in fake news, even
so
though
I'm
they're
trying to
looking at it.
understand. So even so if they think that why you think Black people care so much about what white people care, but why don't they just say, oh well, you don't if you don't acknowledge it, then oh well, I'll just go by my life. Why are they so stuck on that? What does that do that for their life?
It does nothing. It's Stockholm syndrome. You have a victim. It's like we talking about that victim mentality, right? For one, I can't
Yeah.
make sense of something that don't make sense. You got someone who's watching something happen, and some people believe it and some people don't. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
We can both look at the world and look at the sky and say that thing blue, and then there's somebody that's gonna say, you know, it's kind of purple. And I'm not here to convince you of what I know and what I see. I'm here to just do what I gotta do, and that's something that something that you bring out as well. You a superhero. You do what you got to do. You're not concerned about everybody else's opinion and what they think about it, but you know in yourself, you secure with your opinion enough that you're not going to allow these things to be a distraction for you. Some people don't have that mental capacity to do that because they haven't taken any time to work on themselves. So those people that don't work on themselves will always find something wrong. You got black people who looked at the Million Man March and asking, what happened to the money? But they ain't thinking about who else has brought 2 million black people together, black men at that. Nobody to this day. But I bet you those same people that have an opinion about where the money went for Million Man March have a job and ain't looking to save no money for themselves, ain't got no business for themselves, have not done anything for themselves. But that's why I try not to give too much opinion. I like to deal on facts because the opinion don't matter. We all can have a
Right.
perspective. We all got perspectives. The reality is we did go through something traumatic. So we can't deny that it didn't happen. And some
You
of
keep
us
on.
have
Yeah.
not gotten over that.
Okay, so when you say we have gone something traumatic, these since most of the slave owners are gone and most of the slaves are gone. When we start going, we're in year 2023. Should I guess these young black males just be mad at the young white males that never had any slaves, or who? Where does
No.
this? Where does it
May I
stop? So
may I
who do
ask
they
you
get mad at?
may I ask you a question?
Go ahead.
Uh, why does history repeat itself?
Why does history repeat itself?
Hmm.
I don't know. That's the man above. I don't know.
History repeats itself. The man above told me this. The history repeats itself because we start to get away from the history. So we don't want to disacknowledge facts again. But I don't want we're not saying use those facts as an excuse of today. But if we disacknowledge those facts, if we get away from, if we like just get away from it, like, all right, slavery happened, whatever, we here. Like, if we just get away from it, then you're doomed to repeat.
The Bible says my people perish
Everybody has their
from a lack
yeah.
of knowledge. It don't say
Mm,
they die from a lack of money. It don't say they die from a lack of community. It don't say they die from the lack of a know-how. And that's even not know-how, but from the fact of opinions. They don't die from a lack of opinions. They die from a lack of knowledge. People don't know. Why don't they know? The school system, for the most part, is not unified. Some places in Virginia get better schooling than other places in Virginia. Some places in Richmond get better books and technology than other places. Is that a
hmm
conspiracy or is that a fact?
I'm still,
Fairfield Apartments
I'm
does
still
not
waiting.
have a Whole
I'm still
Foods
waiting
next
for
And
my
to it.
own. I'm still
Creighton
waiting for
Square
my
doesn't have a
own.
Whole Foods next to it. They got McDonald's. They got corner stores on every corner. Liquor
Liquor
stores
stores.
everywhere. Are they owned by black people? No, they're not owned by black people. You go. I was on Southside earlier today. The skating rink that was on Hall Street is what is it
Yep,
now? What is
yep.
it now? A beauty supply
A
store.
beauty supply store.
Is that on purpose? Yes. You want to know why? Because they know they can make some money. Is that a conspiracy or is that just good? Is that good business? I don't know. Is it moral? No, it's not. Because we need some better grocery stores. But who's gonna build them? Us. We gotta build them. We gotta come together and do it. We can't wait on somebody to do it. That's why I said before, affirmative action being eliminated is another wake-up call for us to do for ourselves. This government and anything else that you think is gonna come out, the pie in the sky is never gonna fall. We pray for daily bread, but we don't get up and plant no wheat. We ain't trying to make no type of bread for ourselves. We wanted someone to give it to us. It's not gonna happen that way. And a
Right. So
part of
that
that
I'm
is
trying to.
struggle.
I ain't never get my own question answered.
Well, you had a couple questions, and I
Yeah,
think,
I was
and
like,
I say
I was
we
like,
because I represent.
I'm trying to figure, do we be mad at the new white people, or
We get
who we
mad at
be mad at?
ourselves. We need to be mad at ourselves that we not doing nothing in 2023.
No, I'm
We
talking
don't
about
need to be.
the slave owners. Do we get mad at their kids? Do we tell them that it was
Hey,
slavery?
let me interject real quick.
I'm trying to figure out who we be mad at, because
Let me put it like this. Let me put it like this. Of course, we don't have physical slavery anymore. But me and Wes went to the same elementary school. And I remember we was in elementary school and we learned about slavery. And some white kids were like, haha, back in those days, you would have been my slave.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? That speaks to a mentality. Like because it's not legal to be able to do it now, doesn't mean the mentality hasn't been passed on from generation to generation. Not saying everybody got it, because I don't want to label that on everybody. But that mentality, I've been through it. You know what I'm saying? Like I've been had rocks by white kids and stuff, throw rocks at me, and you know what I'm saying, yeah, nigga and all that stuff. Like I've been through that. You know what I'm saying? Just trying to walk home. So to say like that it's the mentality that we talking about. It's not necessarily aimed or directed at one's, a specific group. We talking about that mentality that you're better than somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part that we are addressing. Now we're not trying to say it's all white people.
What about the
I'm
black
saying
slave
that's
owners? What they
what we're
said?
trying to address.
So that's what I said
What about
as
the black
well.
slave owners?
That's what I said as well. That oppressive, that's
We
why I
said
say when
the
I say
mindset.
oppressor, I don't mean white people as an oppressor.
Exactly.
Oppressor is an energy. This is a mentality that we
Exactly.
also have adapted. The brother just brought it up that some of us adapted the culture of enslaving people. That means that's a mentality that you can adapt. That doesn't mean that's what you do. That means that in order for survival, I'm going to do what I think is right. That doesn't mean that it is right. You're just doing what's around you. Just like we talked about before, I don't necessarily subscribe to black on black crime. You kill in the environment that you live in. Whether you live in an environment by a lot of white people, or a lot of black people, or a lot of blue people, a lot of green people, a lot of purple people, you're gonna kill who you are in close proximity of. You're not going from your city traveling in a car that you don't have and going to someone else's city to kill them. That's not happening. Who does that? I see other coaches going to other cities and going to churches that they don't have any membership to and killing people. I see that. That's what I see. But when I'm talking about oppressor, I'm not talking about a race of people. I'm not talking about a culture of people. I'm talking about a mentality that can be in a black person, a white person, an Asian person, anybody, any religion, whatever you want to call it. You can oppress other people just because that's your opinion. Just like there's black people who think that they're more higher than black. They think, so there are people that believe that because they black, and then there's something that's called niggas. Oh, I'm black. That's a nigga over there. Well, when the police pull your black self over, you a nigga to them. So what's the difference? There is no difference. We can believe in a utopia, but the reality is this is war. This is warfare. It's the food, it's the drinking, it's the schooling. All of these things are attacks. But if you don't think it is, that's on you. I'm not here to convince anybody that we at war with everything that we do. We got people that's printing meat. They printing meat. You think they print meat for people that can afford to make their own or grow their own? No, they not. So we can't. I just want to make sure we clear. When I say we, because I speak for what I feel our people, black people. So I can't just exclude some of us that may be lost. I can't exclude some of us who may got it going on. I got to talk to all of us because we need all of us to do our part so the people that are lost can see that there's examples that you can come out of that loss and be found. There's people who think that, I done got me 3, 4, 5 different degrees. I'm better than other black people. No, you're not. Because the job that you working ain't got nothing to do with your degree. It's the reality. We got black people that go to college that do African studies when African history is free. You don't need to go to school for African studies. You can't build no nation with African studies. You build nations with engineers, doctors, and lawyers and people that actually can do something for you. You don't go to school for sports medicine in order to be able to build a nation. But are we looking to do that? No, because we've been convinced that you get a degree, you're better than somebody. No, you're not. You're just as dumb as the person without the degree, because most people that are successful did not go to college. Most of these billionaires that we look up to did not go to college. They hire the people that went to college, and then they fire them when they done with them.
Hey,
It
look,
was
hey, look, hey,
impressive, G.
But that's
hey,
just my passion, you know. I'm
yeah,
real
no, man,
passionate about my
that's
people.
good dialogue, man. That's good dialogue, yo. So we right at about we right at like 9:35, man. We're gonna get ready to wrap it up, but before we wrap up everything, like I just wanted to open the floor up, man. Any final thoughts, any final words, man? This has been a great dialogue, by the way, man.
Yeah.
Like I think this, yeah, go ahead, Trey.
I want to just try to again bridge that when you was talking about the mentality. You was talking about the mentality of the oppressor, but then we also are coming at the mentality of the victim. You got to
Mm-hmm.
stop. So when you was asking G like when it's gonna stop for Black people, that's the target that we're not pointing at the oppressor like, oh, we wish you would stop, because what's the benefit in that? What motive do they have to stop if you see that they are doing it or benefiting from it? What motive do they have to stop? You know what I'm saying? What would it look like for them to actually give us reparations or anything that we've actually asked for? No, they're gonna give us change the street names, change the school name, take a statue down. They're gonna give us the stuff that seem good on the face. So when you keep on looking for a solution from the oppressor, then that's going back to that Stockholm. That's it's a facade. It's not going to happen. So when it comes to the mentality, we're looking at Black people specifically is to not play victim. Like, I don't disacknowledge facts and history. History is there for a reason. Learn it, study it so that you don't repeat it, but use that knowledge and build right here. You know what I'm saying? We're not telling you to go back to the past and say, "Oh, because this happened, I can't get a loan." No, you still can get a loan. You just need to build yourself, build your credit, build your financial literacy, work with your people. You know what I'm saying? We got like a handful of Black banks that I can't even name. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, yeah, all right, we got work to do. Let's not sit in victimhood and get to work. But also, we can't ignore history, if that makes sense for those who are listening.
All right, Trey. Anybody else want to kind of close out this topic, man? Like I said, we've been going at it for a little while now, man. But it's been a great discussion. Anybody got anything else they want to add on?
Wes said everything I was thinking about, so now I'm good.
But I will let me clarify as well on this. Again, I'm not looking for an apology from anybody. If anything, I apologize to myself that I haven't started doing this type of work earlier. You see what I'm saying?
Nice.
I don't get upset with other people because I know that I can't control nobody else's actions. I can only control mine. You see what I'm saying? That's why I say I can only work on myself and be the best example. And what we learn in our teachings is that you don't condemn a dirty glass. You just set a clean glass right next to it. You don't have to tell nobody how to fix yourself. You just need to just fix yourself and show them that it's possible. And then when they'll get curious and say, "How did you do that? How did you get that stain out? How did you get that stain out your glass?" But some of us, and I'm speaking for me, I used to think that some information people just didn't want to hear. No, they don't want to hear it the way they've been giving it. You need to give it in a way that they understand. You need to give it to them in a way that they can digest it. Not everybody can just pick up a book and just open it up and just like, you know what, this is, I see the knowledge in this. I can see the benefit. Thank you. Some people are like, man, I don't want to read another book. And that's unfortunate, but that doesn't discount the fact that you still need to be encouraged to do so. And some encouragement is not just from words or just talking about it. It's that action. So like these dialogues are great because we do need to see different perspectives so that we can find a new approach. One thing that I'm learning as well, that you don't change your goal when you don't get your result. You change your approach. You keep changing your approach until the desired result is achieved. So if it's not going to work from going to church and learning it that way. If it's not going to work, you going to school, and that's not something like some of us don't like to sit in front of let's sit in a chair and listen to a teacher. You got people that's hands on, you got visual, you got audio, you got some people that's mixed. They need all of it, and we have to be able to go after our people for what they need. When you like, me and Paul, we was talking about this earlier, bro. A doctor does not just give you, when you walk in the doctor's office, they don't just give you medicine until you send you on the way. They got to diagnose the problem. So who's actually going to take time to diagnose the problems that we have individually? Because not everybody can't get this blanket thing, right? We can't say, oh, we just need a new mentality. So go out there and go find you a new mentality.
Right.
You need to go and take that time, and who's going to have patience enough to see what is going to work for you. And that's why we say each one teach one. We all can reach one. It's not about changing all 40 million. What's one person you can affect? Because if you can affect them with some change, they can pull somebody else up. It's not about grabbing everybody. It's working at home. Start at home. Get your family straight. Is your girl got knowledge? Does your child got knowledge? So then as we spread out, we'll get what we need. So I'll just leave it at that each one teach one. We're not trying to put the fish net out there and get all the fish. Just get that one fish that been watching you, because everybody got somebody watching them. Whether you know it or not, you're a role model, whether you want to be or not. And we have to be okay with that. And that's why I see a lot of rappers talk about, well, I ain't no role model. Sorry, you have to be, because you put yourself in a position where you're on stage. So now that you up here, do something with your life. And we got to stop not being accountable for our actions, and stop making excuses.
Boom. Don't point the finger in the hand.
That's right. G, you got anything you want to leave the people with before we head on out, man?
No, we good.
All right, yo. So with that being said, man, this has been a great episode, man. Shout out to Marquise, our honorary 4th member.
Yes,
Shout out to Brother West, man, coming on and joining us once again, man. We want to thank y'all for joining us, and we want to thank everybody
And
out there, man.
before we close out,
Yeah, go ahead, Trey.
Today marks 2 years officially of us being on. You know what I mean? Shout out to us.
Consistent, never didn't miss a Friday or nothing, yo. Like we've been working, man. And I want to take this time out, man, to thank Trey, to thank G, man. Like I love y'all brothers, man. Through this whole journey, we done had our ups and downs and stuff in front of the camera, behind the camera, all of that stuff. You know what I'm saying? But we found a way to work through it, man, and progress, man, and just see these two brothers, their growth individually, and the things that they've been doing, and the things they on the verge of accomplishing, as well as myself, man. I'm just thankful to be on this journey with y'all, and we got a lot more coming for y'all, man. We got a lot more coming.
Man.
For real,
Much love.
Like y'all when I grow up, man.
Yeah.
Same. You feel me?
But look, man, hey, look, we gonna go ahead and wrap it up, man. Shout out to us, 2 years, man. If y'all been rocking with us, or if y'all haven't been rocking with us, make sure y'all subscribe, like, comment, all that great stuff. We on Rumble now, so shout out to the Rumble viewers. Make sure y'all follow us and all that great stuff over there. And with that being said, man, y'all take care. Peace.
Yeah.